So we're live on Facebook now. Isn't that beautiful? Hi, Ashleigh. I'm so glad you're here to join me for this.
I'm so glad to be with you.
Yeah. So everybody in our life mapping world, the community, this is Ashleigh Johnson. She's amazing. She is going to be our special guest on December 21st, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific, and all in between. You'll know where to find us. And you can RSVP on Eventbrite, and I'll put the link in the chat in a few minutes. But Ashleigh's going to be with us as we celebrate the winter solstice and get ready for the new year. So Ashleigh, why don't you just tell our audience a little bit about your work as an astrologer?
Sure. So my work as an astrologer centers around helping people find the logic behind their instincts and using astrology as a tool for self-mastery. I think it's really important for us to know ourselves and know who we are in order to do great business and to do sustainable business. The journey of entrepreneurship is a rough one, and there is no real roadmap for it. You know, we're winging it as best as we can. And astrology is a great tool that can help us manage our time, manage our emotions, and manage our expectations of ourselves and of our business. So, my work is really just about helping people identify and clear whatever blocks that are keeping them from the type of business or even just career in general, because not every client of mine has a business. You know, I do have people that have, regular day jobs. I still have a day job. So, I'm all about learning how to use astrology to maximize your time and however you want to use it.
Thank you. That's and I've been a client of hers and she's been a client of mine. So, I just have such respect for the work that you're doing. So let me just say a few things about winter solstice. Technically it's the shortest day of the year. We're furthest away from the sun, especially in North America, on that day, we're going to actually get to have our event on the actual winter solstice this year. Sometimes we have it a few days before. And what that marks is that after that comes, the days will start to get longer. So that's the physical part of it. Energetically, it is, part of the magic of winter is the slowing down and being dark and getting quiet. And it's a great time to kind of do some soul searching and planning about what is it that you really want. So every year we take this time to say, kind of celebrate what has been and start to look forward as using that energy to propel us around what do we want in the new year? What do we want to create? What do we want to manifest? But I invited Ashleigh because, so much has happened this year, and we want to, when we get on the event on the 21st, we're going to try and put some of that in perspective and do some work around that. And so much is coming. And I wanted Ashleigh just to share a little snippet of kind of how you viewed this year and how things have moved and what's happening astrologically in 2020 and on the solstice, and what can you, and then we'll save what can you see for 2021 for the event.
Okay. Well, for this year, 2020 was really it was an indescribable, honestly, kind of a year. We had several retrograde planets. We had Mars, Saturn, Pluto's retrograde. We regularly have Mercury retrograde, so that's not really much of a cause for panic. But, Mars being retrograde this year in Aries was just a really serious, like 6+ month just slog of, and we're still kind of coming out of it. Mars is direct now, but it won't clear its retrograde shadow until I believe January 6th. So we're still shaking that off, but, we're starting to get our energy back up. But, this year has been um, so much about us being forced to reflect and to confront the different structures that create our life and that create our mindset. And so many people, have never really spent this kind of time at home,
Mm,
or with themselves or with their family. And it's been a real test to see, what to really get immersed in the life that you've built for yourself. Um, and there's something to be said for the kind of answers and clarity, and also confusion that can come from being, pushed to look within yourself and look at yourself and really, clearing out that sense of busy, 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 do, do, do. Um, and I think leading up to solstice, um, we're at that usual point of winter where we feel, lethargic, but this year it's a different kind of tired. It's a different
mm,
kind of exhausted. Um, and I know people probably didn't think we'd be, quarantined this long, or, we wouldn't be living as if, we're still in the pandemic. They thought, oh, we'll just, by fall or by this or by that. But, a lot of our cultural bad habits are coming home to roost.
mm,
And we're seeing how they affect us, of course, externally, but we're also seeing how even within ourselves, those types of thought patterns and habits are manifesting. And we're figuring out, what we really want to do, if anything, about it. Because I think what might surprise some people, especially as we approach the solstice and as we get into this season of Saturn being in Aquarius, a lot of people are going to be surprised with what they're willing to accept and what they're willing to
mm,
put up with, and the things that have, the things that they're willing to be stuck with in order to accept something else or to allow another structure to go on. And so I think a lot of us are going to be tested on our ideals, our causes that we fight for, and those freedoms that we, exclaim so loudly that we want to protect and that we want to um, generate even more freedom. But we have to consider, well, what does that really mean? What do you want to be free to do exactly?
mhm,
And how is your freedom going to impact others? Is it going to beget more freedom, or does your freedom beget oppression? So we're going to be exploring a lot of those different paradoxes and a lot of those extremes. And I think it's going to be interesting for all of us to see just how far we're willing to go for the future. So,
mm. Well, we're seeing some of that now just with the controversy over mask wearing, something so simple,
hmm
yet that's creating such a stir, you know.
hmm
Um, are we willing to, like I used to say, like freedom is one of my primary values, and I'm often saying, and I will give up some of my freedoms for love,
hmm
um, for those who I love. And so, whether it's wearing a mask or doing something else that supports those people that I love, I'm willing to like not go out or, you know, use my resources so that those people I love are okay.
hmm
And yeah, so I think those things you're saying are really happening in the moment. And what I'm hearing is they're going to continue. We get to continue to reflect and align our actions with our words, or change our words to match our actions,
hmm
um, and not kind of just have these aspirational ideas that we don't live out. Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, wow. So, you know, Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
a
get to
lot of
grapple with that.
practicing what we're preaching. It's going to be very interesting when people, we get up and we beat our chest and and I'm gonna do this and da 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 and but now we need to see it. It needs to happen. It needs to be real. It needs to be made manifest. You need to be, you know, we don't want to hear it. We want to see it. We need both.
Yeah, my dad was fond of saying, your actions speak so loud I can't hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
And really people need to pay attention to what are people doing.
Mhm.
And does that match what they're saying as they discern whether it's a personal relationship or systems relationships with other systems or communities or organizations. Are their actions in alignment with who they say they really want to be? And what does that mean? One of my good friends, Raw Goddess with Move the Crowd, did a great blog on this time and called it the sacred pause, a time for us to kind of look at ourselves, reconnect with ourselves, put our house in order, so to speak, which is right in alignment with this conversation now. So I just find so many people are really getting
I think you're frozen. Um, all right. Well, it's still frozen. Hopefully you can hear me, Monica. Hmm. Okay, wait. Seems like she's coming back.
there we go.
Okay.
And then all of us working from home and then all of us working from home, all my internets are getting a little unstable. That's the word that comes up on my screen. So everything has changed. Our world has changed dramatically. And when people say, "Oh, when we get back to normal," something happens with me when people say, "Oh, I can't wait to get back to normal," because it won't be the same. Our world will not go back to what we remember. It'll be different.
And it needs to be. It makes us question, why was that normal? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, it needs to be different. I agree. Is there a delay, maybe?
I think so.
Okay. So you were saying it needs to be different.
Yeah, I think it needs to be different. That type of normal was extremely that's like that. For the majority of us, it was just that feeling of just insurmountable heaviness and this sense of feeling so stuck. And I think actually that's going to correlate to the energy we're walking into of the rest of the country, and especially since the US itself has an Aquarius moon. And so with Saturn moving into Aquarius, that's going to really expose a lot of the cracks and crevices that we have within, what it is that we're doing. So, if you thought we were restricted before, or you haven't seen anything yet, unless we're willing to, broaden our perspective and really do the work and be human. Do the work of being human.
So I can't wait till next on Monday after next for it to go deeper into this conversation with you as we start to assess what this year has been, where we are in the process, and what we can look forward to in the new year. So anything you want to say as we're closing, Ashleigh?
I would just want to say, be as gentle with yourself as possible. Many of us, we haven't experienced a life where we've known much gentleness and tenderness, but I would invite you to explore what those kind of emotions and feelings and experiences would look like for you, because we're going to need those places of comfort and inspiration and healing to go to, and to be able to share that with one another as we move forward and keep reminding ourselves what it means to be human and to be connected. So,
and for me, what comes up is kind of let's lower our expectations, slow down a little bit over this holiday season. Hanukkah is starting, Kwanzaa is coming, Christmas is coming, and some people celebrate the Festival of Lights. All this, the commercial part of it, we can really pull back from that, given that we're sheltering in place, we're staying at home, and really start paying attention to each other. Like, I have a habit of writing love letters to people during the holidays, and on our platform, Life Mapping Online, we are doing a gratitude challenge. And I think I posted something on our Facebook page earlier this week around it. That through the end of the year, we started at Thanksgiving and we're going through the end of the year with writing in our journal what we're grateful for, and then sharing one thing a day on a platform that we're grateful for, just to remind ourselves what's really important for us. So I just want to thank you so much for joining for this quick little Facebook Live. And I just look forward to a deeper, longer conversation on the 21st.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I look forward to talking to you too. I always do.
Yeah, I love you so much. Thank you so much. And we'll see each other soon.
All right.
All right. I posted the link on in the chat. And so please join us on the 21st to celebrate this winter solstice and look towards the new year. Thank you.